Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back to my class. This is our fourth meeting for standardized test of structure. And from the previous meeting, we have already talked about the verb and subject agreement. Now today we are going to discuss about nouns and pronouns. Of course, I'm sure that everyone has already know about nouns and pronouns, right? Nouns can be Mr. Harry, a stone, a house. What is that? Apples, that nouns, right? And then when we are talking about pronouns, of course, it can be like he, she, it, they, them, and etc. That's what we call nouns and pronouns. However, today we are not only going to talk about that. We are going to talk about more and more, especially regarding to the concept of nouns and pronouns, whether it is noun phrase, noun clause, and also, the most importantly, nouns and pronouns regarding to the question in TOEFL test. Okay, let's go forward. Okay, verb 1, when we are talking about noun clause, of course, there are the third type of subordinate clause, right? And then they begin with the noun clause markers. Noun clauses that are formed from statement begin with the noun clause marker that. And noun clause formed from yes or no question begin with the noun clause marker whether or if. And the information question usually begin with WH words like what, where, when, and so on. That's what we call the information in the noun clause. Let's go to the example. It's going to be more easy when we see the example, right? Let's take a look at this. This is example of the statement. Okay, when we are talking about noun clause in the form of statement, you can see that from here. Dr. Hopkins' office is in the Dr. Hopkins' office is in the building. That statement, right? And then can see that the example number 2. I'm sure that Dr. Hopkins' office is in this building. So the conjunction that means this is the statement. Dr. Hopkins' office is in the building. Now there is another question. There is a question here like, is Dr. Hopkins' office on this floor? And then when we change this yes no question into the clause, dependent clause, of course it can be like, I don't know if or whether Dr. Hopkins' office is on this floor. Okay. And one more example here, like, where is Dr. Hopkins' office? This is an information question. And then when we are to move this question into noun clause here, it can be like, please tell me where Dr. Hopkins' office is. Okay, that's the example of the WH question into the noun clause here. Okay. Now, how about pronouns? Pronoun is like personal pronoun like he, she, it, they, and so on, like what I told you before. And then there is also reflexive pronouns like himself, herself, itself, themselves, and so on. And then relative pronouns, adjective clause markers, who usually there are some kind of conjunction here, like who, whose, which, that, and so on. And then demonstrative pronoun like this, that, these, those. That's the what we call demonstrative pronouns. Now let's go to the example of the the use of pronouns and also noun clause in the question of TOEFL test. Like this one, when I give you this example here, Jack Rabbit have a powerful rear legs that enable it to leap long distances. What we need to do is to analyze the sentence whether A, B, C, or D whether A, B, C, or D is incorrect one, right? This is an error recognition question. We have to recognize which one is the error here, whether A, B, C, or D. When we are looking at the sentence, Jack rabbits have powerful rear legs that enable it to leap long distances. Can you see that? What do you think is the answer? That's right, this is C. Why? Because let's take a look at this. Jack rabbits have powerful rear legs that enable it to leap. It here belongs to rear legs. Legs mean two, right? Ada dua kakinya kan. Rear legs, there are two legs here. So that's why when it here is the pronouns of rear legs, so that's why it should be not it but them. So it should be like, jackrabbits have powerful real legs that enable them to leap long distance. Okay? So basically this one, the pronouns referring to the plural noun jackrabbit must be plural. Okay? How about this one? The best way for children to learn science is for them to perform experiment himself. Can you see that? What do you think is the answer? That's right. My question is why. The answer is D. This is D, right? Because himself, this is the explanation. The relevant is plural children, right? When we are talking about children, the best way for children to learn science is for them. Here it's already mentioned them, so that's why it should be plural pronouns. Himself is only one person, boy or a man, a boy or a man. However, because these children, it means that there are a lot of people. So it's not himself, but it should be themselves. Okay? Another example here. A barometer is a device. It is used to measure atmospheric pressure. What do you think is the answer? That's great. B. This is a personal pronoun. It cannot be used to connect an adjective clause to the rest of the sentence. Relative pronoun which or that must be used instead. Yeah. So basically, this is a relative pronouns that we need, not it. A barometer is a device. It is used. Yeah, okay. When this is the situation like this, it is double subject, right? Double noun, device and it. So it's impossible. So that's why it should be changed with the conjunction, like whether which or that. Okay? Well, that's the, what is that? The example of the use of pronoun and noun in TOEFL test. So that's why I hope that from this explanation, everyone can be, can understand more about how to handle the question related to the nouns and pronouns. Okay? Well, I think that's all for today. I provide you some exercise here in the open learning. Please check it out, and I'm going to check whether you have the problem or not. Okay? Well, I think that's all. Thank you, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.